YouTube, and welcome to my channel. Today I am heading, of course, to go take care of my mom. Seems to be like how we meet often here. If you're new to my channel, welcome. We talk about autism in perspective. We talk about self-help and self-love, and just like learning how to better know ourselves and accept ourselves, all of ourselves. That's something that I'm really having to work on this week. I have talked about in the past about how emotions, they just happen, and then we're left with dealing with them. Oh, look, you can see me. It's about 5 o'clock Central Time, so it's dark out here. 5 o'clock in the morning, by the way. We have a very long day planned. I have to go get my mom some firewood and get her set up with some more of her heaters. Get her a few of her meals out. She's been having a really hard time remembering to take them out of the freezer, so I've just been going and getting them out, and so at least I know 2 or 3 days she's set for food. And then we will drive another 4 hours for her treatment, and then I will pick up my kiddos from school, and we'll drive another 4 hours to get her back home and to get us back home, and then on to school for the littles, for my kiddos, and for myself the next day, and work. So yeah, it's an all-time party all the time over here. I have been trying to figure out what is going on with me. I know that, you know, when you are a caregiver, which I am, you know, I have a special needs child, and I have a spouse who has a lot of issues that takes a lot of walking on eggshells, I guess you'd say. So I'm really having to work on doing that. And then I also have, you know, taking care of my adopted mother, who is dealing with breast cancer, but she also has dementia on top of it. So it's just kind of one of those things that it's just, I feel like the past probably 3 weeks I have been having to give a lot, and it's too much sometimes. So most of the time it's just really too much in general. But the fact that I'm realizing that helps me to make sure that I slow down. I try to make sure that on Thursdays I slow down. I try not to be too busy with the company and just kind of rest and recuperate. And then I have made some changes with our co-parenting, because I, first of all, don't want to be putting out money for, you know, visitation that's not happening on a regular basis with my co-parenting partner. And then the other thing is what we do is it's nesting. And so, you know, my children's father comes to my home, to our home, the kids' home, and has his time. And I mean, he'll have anywhere from 8 hours to 6 hours to 2 hours, whatever he's available to come and go on these certain days. And there's definitely a lot more going than being there lately, and that is entirely up to him. You know, the only person that loses out is him and the kids. And so I've also been having to deal with that. I have a prepubescent boy. You know what? Like, I don't know. I think when boys get to be like 10 or 11, maybe mine's early, but any of you deal with like feeling like your sons are really depressed at that age? I mean, I know girls, it's like your hormones, but boys, it's like I can't decide if it's just, I know when he's overwhelmed, he feels depressed, which I would normally too. So just trying to make sure that the kids also have that downtime, you know, for a good 2 or 3 days, because we have a lot that we're doing, you know, not seeing their mom for 3 days, or like 3 evenings that they were supposed to see me, and then me being gone on Tuesday, and then work. It's a lot, and then homework and everything. My kids are amazing with it. I'm just gonna say, on Saturdays we clean, we do our laundry together, we get our stuff together, we do puzzles. That was really fun. We've been painting my son's model car. Yeah, basically, y'all, I don't get out much, and you know, being a mother was my dream, and so any time I get to spend with them is the best time to me. But I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about, I guess it's called S.A.D, like seasonal depression. I don't know what the A stands for. I was going to look it up, but I was really busy looking up occupational therapy stuff and recipes for my mom, like granola bars without grains and sugar. And anyway, they're out there, by the way. Like, thank God for Google. And anyway, I have some kitchen experiments to make for her. I definitely think that, you know, making things for people is a way that I love myself. And I know that it's not like a traditional way of loving yourself, but when I'm in the kitchen and I know I'm doing something that's going to give somebody health and happiness, that brings me happiness. But I also have to be careful to not overdo it and like overachieve the whole, oh, I'm going to make this, this, and this. Like, I'm better if I just have like 2 or 3 things. And so I'm learning that about myself. So definitely making sure that I take the time to slow down and take my emotional temperature when I'm doing these things. Because, I mean, even though kindness is a gift, it's not something that's earned. You know, I am in a, you know, co-parenting relationship with somebody, and in a, you know, caregiver relationship. There's a lot of relationships out there that basically are like, well, since you're not nice to me, I'm not going to be nice to you. And that is how so many people live. And I don't really roll that way. I think that the fact that I try. We all have our moments, but I try to be kind to people. I try to be honest to them. If they choose not to be that way with me, that's on them. But, you know, I have my own code of ethics and morals, and to me, it is not an interchangeable thing. It's not, well, you did this, this, and this, so I am allowed to be this way. You are allowed to have those boundaries. You are allowed to step off the dance floor of the anger and the codependency and all that stuff. But when you are reacting to someone's behavior instead of responding to someone's behavior, and when I mean like reacting, a reaction is like it just happens, like, you know, cause and effect, like energy. I mean, you could get super nerdy about that, but a response requires you to go within yourself and respond from yourself. And so it is a true, authentic you, and you're not betraying yourself. You're not afterwards being like, well, why the heck did I do that? So anyway, probably could go into a video on that, on the difference of reaction and response, if you're interested. I'm learning about it, and everybody has their own opinions about it, and that's what we all have. But one of the things that I wanted to touch on, and and that I think I've been dealing with a little bit on top of everything is, seasonal depression, as far as just being, and I think my son probably has too, you have the holidays and all the excitement for it and all the family time, and then you're left with, it's still cold outside and there's not really anything to look forward to, and you still have school and taxes, and so even if you weren't like just naturally not having something to look forward to because adulting, there's also the weather. Where we live at this time of the year, the sun is literally less powerful, so you're not getting those vitamin D, and the energy for the earth is slower, and so you definitely have to really work at getting natural sources of that feel good that the summer and everything like that, and the summer and the spring bring you. And it's been, it's been less since 3 months or so, and you have to think about it. Like when you have surgery, or if you have an extreme loss or like a big change in your life, you're good. You're good for a while, and then now 3 months later your hairstyle's falling out and you're like, what just happened? It takes time for our body, because our body is naturally made to survive. So you have to think, okay, well, Thanksgiving was 3 months ago. I mean, all of these things, you're in that time that it's a lot right now, for your body in its natural habitat, not even factoring in taxes and back to school and just like all the different things. I don't know what y'all have going on. We all have something, but I definitely feel that, over the next few months, it's going to be really important to make sure that if you take a multivitamin, definitely make sure you take that. Making sure that you are getting good enough protein and getting rest, because it's this vicious cycle of, I feel sad, I do things like drinking or binge watching or going out multiple times, so I do these behaviors in reaction to how I feel, instead of sitting with myself and responding to what my body needs. Because you're all you got. The end of a bottle, great 2 or 3 hour fix, but when you already are feeling down, the next day it's even worse. Going out with friends is great, but then like if you're already stressed out with managing your life, it's something else that you're adding into it. And it's like, I'm not saying don't go out, but I'm saying that, doing it as an escape is not a good regular habit. Habits that are good responses are things like walking and resting and having mindful moments, making sure that you are taking care of your health. And I don't mean, go like on a plant-based diet or anything like that. I mean, just make sure that you are eating and sleeping and definitely getting enough of protein, because that helps create those B vitamins, and the B vitamins are feel-good vitamins. And then also making sure that you are, doing your calcium and vitamin D. If you have a problem, a lot of times, it's like when you are going through mental health issues, a lot of times they will check your vitamin D, because low vitamin D, D2 causes depression, anxiety. If your B vitamins are low, you feel very twitchy and you can even start hearing voices. I have to take B12 shots because of my medication and some medical conditions. And I know when it's time to take them, because not only am I way more than tired, but I feel very fuzzy and just I ache all over. So, those are things that we don't get them enough. So if you are going to be taking a vitamin D2, it's always good to take vitamin D3. It's always good to take vitamin K2 with it, not only as women because it can raise our parathyroid, but it also allows your body to use and metabolize the supplemental form of D3. You know, when you're getting it from fruits and vegetables and from the sun, your body goes through this whole metamorphosis, while as when you're taking it with a pill, you know, it's depending very much on your digestive system. So K2 helps break down a lot of the things and makes the D3 more available for your body. Anyway, there's a fun-filled nerdy fact for you. Yay! So I wanted you guys to be aware that, you know, it's not like, yes, if you're feeling overwhelmed and you're needing to cry. It's biologically very important that when you feel sad, that the tears that you release when you are sad and overwhelmed, those are actually hormones, and those are your actual enzymes and emotions. Sometimes mine will actually burn, and I'm like, holy cow, I've got some serious pain in there, you know. So I didn't used to be able to cry, and you know, we need to. The body has its own way of healing itself. It has its own way of doing that, and then we humans come along and we try to change it, and we got problems. But anyway, that could be like a whole nother thing. We're not going to go into that. I hope that you all found this helpful. I made myself some meal prep, and I have these muffins that are like 21 grams of protein to have for breakfast. No, they do not look appetizing, but they are hella good. I just remembered I was talking to somebody about the video, like saying what it was about, and he said, I was like, yeah, I'm going to talk about S.A.D. And he's like, why are you going to talk about S.A.D.? And I even had, like, I have a list, and I think I'm going to put it in there. Like, there's a list of words that when you're feeling these, it's like, oh, I'm sad, like overwhelmed, you feel less than, you feel lost and lonely and bored, and all of these, there's like a whole list of words that would describe feeling sad. But like seasonal depression, he was like, I can't even remember what he said. He was like, oh, it's I think it was like, I don't remember, but it's kind of inappropriate. But I probably will put that in the description. Anyway, I hope that you all have a great Tuesday, and that your week is filled with mindful moments, and that whenever you feel overwhelmed, you take a walk, have a cry, draw a picture, sing to yourself, and take those moments, because, you know, the feeling overwhelmed and panicky and stressed out, that is your body's way of telling you that you're doing too much. And it's okay that you're doing too much. Take a moment, take your emotional temperature, and go from there. Keeping on for keeping on's sake, it's not a way to live. So anyway, I'll have a good one. I will see you later. Bye. This thing won't stop.